Joe, keep an eye on the things out back here, will you? I got to go out and entertain the folks out there. So. Hey, y'all, how you doing? It's Willie here, and hey, Rob. No, I don't want you to play that telly on my segment tonight. I got a gospel bluegrass number tune I'm going to want to do for you. I think it'd be much better with the mandolin. So why don't you go fetch your mandolin?
Okay, I'll grab it.
Thanks, man. Anyways, while Rob's fetching the mandolin there, I just want to tell you this, this Packard and Studebaker parts business ain't going so good for me. I'm not sure. It's just ain't really working out. There's just not that many Packards and Studebakers on the road anymore. So, I got a few parts here trying to sell them off, but, I've been thinking, I think this country's lost its moral compass. And so I'm thinking I'm maybe going into the preacher business. My great-great-grandfather, he was a preacher, traveling itinerant preacher, and I thought maybe I'd try my hand at being a preacher type of fella. And I saw somewhere on the internet there you can send away and get a reverend. I can get a reverend designation off the internet, so I might do that, and I might change over to a little bit of a traveling gospel music show or something like that. Anyways, I'm not sure Rob will be all over that or not.
But, I don't think so.
Well, there he is. So let's play this tune. I think you'll know it, Rob. You might. I don't know what the folks out there know what it is, but it's a good old gospel tune. There are many people who will say they're Christians, act like Christians on the Sabbath day. But from Monday morning till the following Sunday, fight their neighbors all along the way. Oh, you don't love God if you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if she gets into trouble and you don't try to help her. You don't love your neighbor, then you don't love God. That's nice. In the Holy Bible, read the book of Matthew, 18th chapter from the 21st verse. Jesus plainly tells us that we must have mercy. It's a special warning in the 35th verse. Oh, you don't love God if you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if she gets into trouble and you don't try to help her. You don't love your neighbor, then you don't love God. Let's hear some of that sweet mandolin. There's a God in heaven and you've got to love him if you want salvation and a home on high. If you say you love him, well, you hate your neighbor. You don't have religion, you just told a lie. Oh, you don't love God if you don't love your neighbor, if you gossip about him, if you never have mercy, if she gets into trouble and you don't try to help her. You don't love your neighbor, then you don't love God. You don't love your neighbor, then you don't love God. Where the pellets of poison are flooding the waters, the fish swim in circles, confused and in pain. The birds on the shoreline crying for their daughters, eggs thin and fragile from the chemical rain. But when will we learn? When will we see? The earth is a gift, not a commodity. We must change our ways before it's too late to save this blue planet from a terrible fate. Forests are shrinking, lakes turning hazy, concrete concrete is spreading like a moss on a stone. We ransom our future, progress gone crazy, ignoring the wisdom of those gone before. But when will we learn? When will we see? The earth is a gift, not a commodity. We must change our ways before it's too late to save this blue planet from a terrible fate. The rivers once flowed like a ribbon so free. They're now choked by the waste that our progress brings. Mountains stand silent in a mournful decree. But the song of the wild fades on a broken wing. Let's stand up together and fight for tomorrow, for clean air and water, for life to renew. Sing for the earth in its joy and its sorrow, and work for a world that is healthy and true. But when will we learn? When will we see? The earth is a gift, not a commodity. We must change our ways before it's too late to save this blue planet from a terrible fate. We must change our ways before it's too late to save this blue planet from a terrible fate. Give us a place to stand and a place to grow, and call this land Ontario. A place to live for you and me, with hopes as high as the tallest tree. Give us a land of lakes and a land of snow, and we will build Ontario. A place to stand, a place to grow, Ontari-ari-ari-oh. From the western hills to the northern shore, Niagara Falls, where the water roars. A place to stand, a place to grow, Ontari-ari-ari-oh. Give us a land of peace, where the free winds blow, and we will build Ontario. A place to stand, a place to grow, Ontari-ari-ari-oh. A place to live for you and me, with hope as high as a hollis tree. A place to stand, a place to grow, Ontari-ari-ari-oh. A place to stand, a place to grow, Ontari-ari-ari-ari-oh. That's the name of the show, Ontari-ari-ari-ari-oh. Doug Ford called an election. He wants 4 more years. He thinks he can prey on our worries and fears. But we're all still waiting for Doug's buck of beer. Grandma's in a hospital hallway waiting for a doctor to appear. A February election feels like Groundhog Day. Well, we're all hard at work, the politicians play. If Doug sees his shadow on the ballot box, we'll have 4 more years of Ford's folksy talk. Doug was cheering for Trump 100%. Now he's wondering with the tariffs where his red hat friend went. So Doug went to Washington to tell Trump he was mad. But all he brought back was some new election ads. A February election feels like Groundhog Day. Well, we're hard at work, the politicians play. If Doug sees his shadow on the ballot box, we'll have 4 more years of Ford's folksy talk. Tried to sell off the Greenbelt to developer friends. Dig a tunnel under the 400. Doug, you been smoking hash again. Pulled out the car chargers, now putting them back in. Feels like Toronto is burning and Doug's just fiddling. A February election feels like Groundhog Day. Well, we're all at work, the politicians play. If Doug sees his shadow on the ballot box, we'll have 4 more years of Ford's folksy talk. The best we can do is get out and vote, even if our democracy feels like a joke. But there's booze everywhere, it only cost us $500,000, no billion. But there's a hangover coming, I've got a bad feeling. A February election feels like Groundhog Day. Well, we're hard at work, oh, the politicians play. If Doug sees his shadow on the ballot box, we'll have 4 more years of Ford's folksy talk. Yeah, 4 more years of Ford's false folksy talk. Good evening, everyone. My name's Rob Witherspoon. I'm the host of Tuesday Live, the fantastically popular among a very small group of people Tuesday night show. And I appreciate everybody taking, take a little reverb off there. Appreciate everybody taking time out of their busy schedule and, skipping Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy tonight to watch the show. I certainly appreciate everybody who takes the time to tune in, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you tune in from. And we're doing Ontari-ari-ari-oh. I hope some of you were singing along with that song when I sang it. That was, I guess, Ontario's centennial song back in 1967. We all sang it in school or wherever you were, but but it was a song that we knew. It was drilled into our heads as youngsters. We knew most of it, but I only learned not too long ago. Actually, we were quite a few years ago, the Speed River Valley Mountain Boys got hired to play at a political event in Pushlynch. Or I was actually in Aberfoyle, that community center in Aberfoyle. And so I thought, well, it was a provincial political event. So I thought we should play the Ontario song. And I didn't realize it had a bunch of extra verses other than the first one we all learned, Place to Stand, Place to Grow. But that second song I did was the brand new Tuesday Live feature. It's becoming immensely popular already, even after a few appearances, at least in my own mind. But a little song of the news, and I was sort of that writing about the Ontario government. That could have gone on for probably 5 or 10 more verses. I didn't, because we're doing comedy. I tried to do a little bit of comedy here, keep it lighthearted in dark times. I stayed away from some of the issues that are really important, like I touch a little bit on healthcare, but certainly that's it's what was I going to say there? I've lost my train of thought. No, I was going to say things like homeless encampments and things like that. I mean, those are mental health issues, and the government wants to give cities the right to just clear those up, clear them up. But then what do you do with the people that are living there? It's not like animals. I don't understand. We seem to be losing our compassion for things in life here, so for others, and I think we've got to keep it going here, and that's what we do here on Tuesday Live. We try to be happy and joyful about things and just spread love and do the best we can to be as kind as we can. I know that's a challenge. I find it a challenge myself. I know folks do point it out to me. You sing about just love, but you don't always live it. But you try. We're all trying, aren't we? But anyways, thank you so much for tuning in. I see some folks checking in. We should maybe go to the comments here. I always like to see where people are coming in from. I see we got, look who's here. Lou from rainy Brockville. It's Lou often watches the show on time shifting. He time shifts the show. He often comments on it, which is very kind. People who watch the show after the fact to drop a comment to let me know they're watching. I really appreciate that. It's good to see you out here tonight live, Lou. And we certainly appreciate everybody's comments. And we have lost a lot of snow today in St. Mary's. And that's Chris Ann, who watches the show on a regular basis and provides some stories behind the songs as well. But yes, we are losing some snow, and let's hope for kind of a gentle thaw. We don't want to get a lot of rain because there's a lot of snow on rooftops around these parts. I know up in Muskoka they're used to that sort of thing, but down here in the south we're not that great with things on the roof, snow on the roof, and we don't want roofs to collapse. I heard there was a roof collapsed over in Elora today, but on an abandoned building, so hopefully no issues. And we got our favorite photographer who will have some of his pictures on a little later in the show, Stan McRae. It's very spring-like out there. And we've got our good friend also from Kappa's Casing checking in, Ron Desley. Good to see you, Ron. Haven't seen you here in a bit. And Kathy and Dwight from downtown Kitchener, beautiful downtown Kitchener. And we got Tapper coming in. Yeah, I love that. Thanks, Tapper, for that kind comment. And we also have Danny Lamontagne dialing in from the Bruce, and Catherine Blakely as well is here tonight as well. Thanks for checking in, Catherine, and saying hello. And if you have a chance, drop a note in the comments. Let us know if you're watching from somewhere. I know lots of folks sort of pop in through the show, get a lot of views on the show over the course of the show. Not everybody sticks around for the whole hour. It's kind of a radical thing to be doing on the internet these days, posting something that's more than like 30 seconds long. That's pretty challenging for folks to keep their attention for that long. But I saw there was another comment. Yeah, Danny's not a conservative. Yeah, Dan, I see Danny's postings on Facebook. Certainly not conservative as well. But I was going to say something there, but now I've forgotten. I've completely lost my track of thought. I've got to pay better attention to things. Stop looking at the computer. Screens are a terrible thing, aren't they? I think the best thing we can probably all do is just avoid the news to a certain degree. Limit your consumption, because too much. Moderation in all, as my friend says, moderation in all things, including moderation. So, but anyways, we've got a great show for you here tonight. We've got all the Tuesday Live regulars here doing Ontario-inspired songs, and we are playing that sort of. That's our sort of our new thing, our new season 3 thing is one of them, anyways. doing Name That Tune. So we generally don't really tell the name of the tune. There might be a clue. You might see a few clues over the course of the show before the song is finished. But if you can guess the tune or figure it out on the internet, some of them I think are we've got a few fairly obscure ones tonight. So hopefully we'll find them out. If not, we'll let you know. But if you want to play along, feel free to throw the name of your guess for the song in the comments, and we'll go from there. But anyways, thanks so much for being here. We're going to turn it over. I'm just going to go grab my mandolin here. I think Willie wants me to pop into the Tuesday Live transporter and head down to where he's parked in his parts truck down there somewhere. And there's Putty McGilvery checking in. Good to see you, Putty. And there's Putty. Yeah, Putty checking in. And also I saw Barb too checking in as well. Happy Tuesday to you too, Barb. And there's Hetty checking in as well. Good to see everybody here tonight. Anyways, thanks so much for dropping in. Let's turn it over. I'm going to grab my mandolin and we'll get Willie to kick things off here. So take it away, Willie. Well, hey y'all, Willie here. Good to see you. Still here working with my little parts business here, but thinking of becoming more of a preacher. I sent away on the internet. Haven't got anything from you yet, but I sent away to get that reverend designation. So I hope to be preaching soon. But one thing I can tell you, good folks back there in Ontari-ari-ari-oh, was that vote wisely. If you're going out to vote in a couple days, pick wisely. Down here in the United States of America, we got a bit of challenges down here. We haven't been the smartest voters recently, at least some of the folks anyways. But everybody knows where I stand on that. I'm not going to preach any on that. But anyways, I heard up there in Canada that my Aunt Erna had a question for me. So Aunt Erna, what question you got there?
Willie, have you ever been to
Tillsonburg? Oh, my back still aches when I hear that word. Way down in southern Ontario, I never had a nickel or a dime to show. Fellow beeped up in an automobile. He said, "You want to work in the tobacco fields of Tillsonburg." Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. He said, "I'll only give you $7 a day, and if you're any good, you get a raise in pay. Your bed's already on the bunkhouse floor. If it gets a little chilly, you can close the door." Tillsonburg, 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 Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. I was feeling in the morning anything but fine. The farmer said, "I'm gonna teach you how to prime." He said, "You gotta don a pair of oilskin pants if you wanna work in the tobacco plant of Tillsonburg." Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. We landed in a field that was long and wide, with one old horse and 5 more guys. I asked him where to find the cigarette trees. When he said bend over, I was ready to leave. Tillsonburg, 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 Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. He said, "Pick just the bottom leaves and don't start a-crawling on your hands and knees. Prime your roll 'cause you get no pay for standing there picking at your nose all day in Tillsonburg." Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. With a broken back bending over there, I was wet right through to the underwear. Stuck to me like my skin like glue from the nicotine tar in the morning dew of Tillsonburg. Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. Now the nearest river was 2 miles from the place they were waiting for the boat to come. When I heard some talk about making the kill, I was down the highway and over the hill from Tillsonburg. Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. Now there's one thing you can always bet. If I never smoke another cigarette, I might get caught in a lot of deals, but I won't go work in the tobacco fields of Tillsonburg. Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg, Tillsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word. My back still aches when I hear that word. My back still aches when I hear that word. Well, hey, Rob, you want to try another one? I got one here. I think you'll know. I'm not sure whether the folks in the audience will be able to guess it or not, but let's give her a go, shall we? I think you know it. Well, things always cost a little more when you buy them at the Sweeberg store. But the drive into town made it the same, so it didn't matter anyway. You could wake him up if your tank was on empty. They wouldn't be happy, but they'd fill it up anyway. I guess that's just the way things go. The Sweeberg General Store is closed. You better fill her up on your way home. It's a sign of the times, I suppose. It's up and down the concessions, everybody knows. Sweeberg General Store is closed. Well, town is a half an hour's drive, and you're lucky to get out of there alive. And then there's something you forgot, and then half the day is shot. And it ought to be a law, it ought to be a crime. That's what they're saying on the 19th line. We took it for granted, how are we to know? Sweeberg General Store is closed. You better fill her up on your way home. It's a sign of the times, I suppose. Up and down the concessions, everybody knows. Sweeberg General Store is closed. Well, Pa says it's been there for 70 years, and it used to be an outlet for Simpson Sears. Ma says she bought her wedding dress there, and they threw in the flowers that she wore in her hair. They closed it once before back in 37, but they opened it again at the end of the Depression. I guess these times are just like those. Sweeberg General Store is closed. You better fill her up on your way home. It's a sign of the times, I suppose. It's up and down the concessions, everybody knows. Sweeberg General Store is closed. Sweeberg General Store is closed. Better fill her up on your way home. Up and down the concessions, everybody knows. Sweeberg General thought it would never. Sweeberg General Store is closed. Nice, Willie. That was awesome. I'm just going to put my mandolin away here. Hold on. Speak among yourselves. Oh, grab my guitar. And awesome. And I think we got some positive guesses on that. I see lots of folks out there in the comments jumping in on that. Who made it? I think was it that first one was certainly Tilsonburg, Stompin' Toms. I figured we didn't even have to stop to identify that one. Someone would jump in on that. And I think Chris got it too. And who else did we get? Oh, there's Val Brunel checking in. Good to see you, Val. And who else? I saw also Wayne checking in too. Wayne Walker. Nice to see you, Wayne, from I think down Cornwall way. And then the second one, Kathy jumped on that, or Dwight maybe, jumped in on the Sweeberg General Store. Is anyone who wonders where Sweeberg is? Sweeberg is down just south of the 401 near Woodstock. Not Woodstock, where the big rock concert was, Woodstock, Ontario. And there's Don McGilvery talking. He said Don Cuddy would. He actually would. A lot of folks from down in Eastern Ontario. I remember a lot of the slightly older than it was. Almost. I don't remember too many folks of my age, but just the folks just a little older than me. The sort of the teenagers when I was a young teen, heading from Eastern Ontario towards the end of the summer to go pick tobacco. And Cuddy says your pants would stand up straight when you took them off at the end of the day after picking tobacco. And my mom's picked tobacco too. I'm sure if you come on the after party tonight, if she's there, I hope she will be. She will. She can regale you with stories of her picking tobacco back in the day. And there's Luke Desailly. Good to see you, Luke. Thanks for dropping in. I was always intrigued by Luke's picture there of the auto harp. It looks like. And Hetty, well, that's worth mention. Hetty went to Sweeburg School. Isn't that something? That's so from down that way. Very cool. Anyways, that's a great song, Sweeburg General Store. Give a listen to Fred Eaglesmith. He does a lot of great songs about Ontario and all sorts of parts. But here's one. I'm going to kick this off with a little. I think I need a change of scene here. There. I walked down to the Kensington market. I bought me a fish to fry. I went to the Silver Dollar, looked a stranger in the eye. A friend of mine says that he don't think this town's so out of sight, but he's got shades all around his soul and he thinks he's seen the light. Singing, don't you wanna keep on moving? Don't you wanna get on done? Don't you wanna change from losing? Don't you wanna have some fun? I went down to the Palm Grove. I was jumping around the room. I was wearing my sneakers down and a casting away my gloom. This fat girl came up and grabbed me. She sat me on her knee. She said, you wrote that farmer's song, and she spilled her drink on me. Singing, don't you wanna keep on moving? Don't you wanna get on done? No, don't you wanna change from losing? Don't you wanna have some fun? I went down by the Henry Moore, skated on in the square. The moon above my shoulder and the ice was in my hair. Alone but never lonely, that's how I like to be. If I wanna have fun like a rock and roll bum, don't think the worst of me. And don't you wanna keep on moving? Don't you wanna get on done? No, don't you wanna change from losing? Don't you wanna have some fun? Don't you wanna keep on moving? Don't you wanna get on done? No, don't you wanna change from losing? Don't you wanna have some fun? Thanks. I see some folks. There's Kathy, always super fast on that with the Murray McLachlan down by the Henry Moore. Yes, the Henry Moore. I think that actually, I was looking for a picture of that statue. I believe this was the statue he was referring to, which used to be somewhere. Chris might know where that used to be. She's a former Torontonian up on Dundas somewhere, I think. I'm not that great with Toronto geography, and Chris also didn't know it was Murray McLachlan, great Toronto singer. Thanks, Lou. Great song. It is a great song, and I'm glad I could play it for you tonight, and you recognized what it is. And now, one thing we do on our show, we do play Name That Tune, but there's an opportunity to actually name a tune, because Rob Dylan, our resident Bob Dylan relative, supposedly, has been working on the Hard Rain's Gonna Fall project, where he's taking a line, or each line of that song, and is turning them into a song inspired by each line of the song. He's been working along these, and he's throwing them out there each week, and you're welcome to give some suggestions for titles. So this song doesn't have a title, but throw some out there, and and we'll take a look at them, and whichever one gets the most likes or loves, whatever, we'll switch it over to we'll give the song that title. So take it away, Rob. Let's see what he's got for us this week. Where the home in the valley meets the damp, dirty prison, deep in the darkness where sins remain hidden. From the chances we had, our fears turned us away. Tears that have fallen, the price that we pay. The home in the valley, it's your prison too. No bars on the window, what's holding you from finding the answer to the questions you had? Best to start looking before it all comes to an end. Those here before us live so light on the land. The bounty of nature crossed their turtle island. Wild rice and sweet grass, beaver and bear, a gift from the maker, oh, left in their care. The home in the valley, it's your prison too. No bars on the window, then what's holding you from finding the answer to the question you had? Best to start looking before it all comes to an end. Then white men came sailing up the river one day, with the greed and their guns, fire, water, and sins. They took without giving, claimed it all for their own. The spirits fell silent, save a soft distant moan. In the valley, it's your prison too. No bars on the window, then what's holding you from finding the answer to the questions you had? Best to start looking before it all comes to an end. Home in the valley, it's your prison too. No bars on the windows, and what's holding you from finding the answer to the question you had? The best to start looking before it all comes to an end. Awesome, Rob. We have, I think a couple. Chris posted before. I'm not sure if is that the name of the song, the suggested title of the song, or are we still referencing to the Henry Moore sculpture? And Ron from Kapuskasing, The Land Before Kingston Pen. That's an interesting title. And then Dwight suggests Implosion. So there's a few choices there. If you want to vote with your likes and loves, give them a little punch the thumbs up button beside your favorite title, and we'll see if we can get one of those, add one of those to the song. But boy, time is flying. We're 7:31. We're having a grand time here. And I guess I should. I just want to acknowledge all the people who watch on YouTube and other places where they aren't able to comment. They're maybe watching on the big screen. I know Jim and Lynn out on Vancouver Island often watch on YouTube, and David Hill and my mom watches on YouTube. So all those folks out watching there, certainly appreciate you watching the show, and also all those folks outside Ontario who indulge us Ontarians in our little central Canadian conceit rate. And as we talk about our upcoming election, a couple days, I guess. We got our election cards in the mail today. So I guess we're legal to vote. Although I think all you need is a photo ID with your address on it, I think, to vote. Thanks for the comment, Ron. Well written. Yeah, Rob's doing a pretty good job writing those songs. See if you guess this one. If they blow a hole in my backyard, everyone is gonna run away. The creeks won't flow to the Great Lake below. Will the water in the well still be okay? If they blow a hole in the backbone, the one that runs across the muscles of the land, well, we might get a load of stone for the road, but I don't know how much longer we can stand. We'll need to build some new apartments, and I know we're gonna have to fix the roads. But if we blow another hole in the escarpment, the wild ones won't have anywhere to go. If they blow a hole in my backyard, everyone is gonna run away. The creeks won't flow to the Great Lake below. Will the water in the well still be okay? We'll keep on driving on the blind line if we don't know where we want to go. Even knowledge that sound can get watered down, the truth can get sucked out the car window. Yes, the truth can get sucked out the car window. We're 2/3 water. What do we really need but sun, shower, soil, and sea? We're 2/3 water. The aquifers provide. Deep down in the rock, there's a pearl inside. If they blow a hole in the backbone, the one that runs across the muscles of the land, well, we might get a load of stone for the road, but I don't know how much longer we can stand. Well, we might get a load of stone for the road, but I don't know how much longer we can stand. Nice. And Chris jumps in there, I think. Yes, Sarah Harmer, Escarpment Blues. Awesome song. I've had that song hanging around for a while. I don't think I've ever played it on the show, but I've always wanted to play it. And, like a lot of places in Ontario, we certainly do need gravel and stone for things, but boy, it seems a lot of it's getting hauled away to different places on dump trucks. And Ron, I think Chris asked too, post the Ford song as soon as possible so they can share. Yes, we will all, after the show is over, after the end of after the after party, I will trim that out of the show and pop it up there if anyone wants to share it. That'd be fun. Get it out there. And because the election is coming up, I guess I'm going to need that on again. The election is coming up, and we don't want to miss it. Chris has already voted, she's indicated. Found an early poll and got out. That's nice, advanced poll. And do that. I think all the advanced polls, like the ones that are sort of more widely distributed, sort of came and went before we even got our voting card. But I think you can also go to the local you can go to your local elections office. You should be able to find it somewhere online, elections.ontario, I guess, and Elections Ontario, and find where to vote, and vote wisely. As they say in the United States, vote often and vote. No, we don't. We vote once in Canada. Our elections are very, very above board, other than some of the candidates running. But anyways, let's turn over to Stan McRae. Boy, the time is flying here. We're going to run out of time if I don't stop yakking and get some of Stan's picks going here. So take it away, Stan. Hey, little bird, what you thinking? In your little bird brain, are you wondering what's gonna become of all these white pine trees? Do you know more than we know? We hope you survive the snow, little bird, little bird, little bird. That's my my little bird song. I'm trying to take one of Stan's songs and make a song about it. See my buddy Steve Fleshire checking in. Lovely pictures, Stan, as always. Those are always so amazing. This is a song you might. This one might be a little tricky. I had trouble finding it myself when I was trying to learn it. Although I know a fella, an Ontario musicologist like Ron Desailly up in Kapuskasey might get it. I know Waxy would get it because I've heard Waxy do another one of the performer's songs. So there's a little clue for you. Those who know Waxy's music might have an idea about this one. But well, it's been a long time since these old feet of mine have walked into Sudbury town. It's been a long time since I wandered away from where the copper cliff smokestacks look down. I didn't know how I felt about that old nickel belt till my wandering ways changed my views. Now I'm sick of the strife of this rambling life. I got the Northern Ontario blues. Northern Ontario, I've got the blues. How I long for your lakes and your trees. How I'd love to recline in the shade of a pine with my old fishing rod on my knee. When the shades of night fall and the lonesome loons call, my cares and my worries I'll lose. And I know peace of mind and God's country I'll find. I got the Northern Ontario blues. There's a northern railway leading out of North Bay, up along the Tamaulipas line, where the old coaches lurch through the poplars and birch, up to Kirkland Lake and Porcupine. I gotta make me some calls in at Iroquois Falls, and Timmins old friendships renew. So I'm packing my sack and I'm hitting the track. I got the Northern Ontario blues. Northern Ontario, I've got the blues. How I long for your lakes and your trees. How I'd love to recline in the shade of a pine with my old fishing rod on my knees. When the shades of night fall and the lonesome loons call, all my cares and my worries I lose. And I know peace of mind and God's country I'll find. I got the Northern Ontario blues. Peace of mind in God's country I'll find. I got the Northern Ontario blues. I turned on my reverb off. That's nice. But Chris figured that one out. I think using a little bit of internet research, maybe. The Mac Beatty and his what do they call themselves? The Seaway, the Ottawa Valley Ottawa Valley something. The Ottawa Valley. Oh, I've lost the name there. It's something music something. Anyways, I'm sure someone will look it up. Look up Mac Beatty. The only place you could find them. I couldn't find them in any of the streaming services, but there was some Mac Beatty tunes. Someone posted them on. Somebody posted them on YouTube, so check them out on YouTube. There's some of his stuff posted there. And it's actually pretty good. And if you go to Waxy, our friend Waxy, if you go to Waxy's website, or at least his YouTube channel, Melodiers, that's right, the Ottawa Valley Melodiers. Melodiers. I'll never get the pronunciation for that. But Mac Beatty and the Ottawa Valley Melodiers, maybe. But anyways, there's some on there. And Waxy did an awesome, a lumberjack song that Mac Beatty did. Awesome tune. Check that out on Waxy's page. We had it on the show in the first season. I think that was one of the first Waxy songs we ever played. But anyways, I'm actually going to pop over and play a tune with Robbie O'Spoon. He's got a tune here. He's doing an Ontario tune tonight, and one you can maybe try to guess. And I'm going to pop over there and play it with him. So let's send it over to Robbie in Dublin, Ontario. Well, hello everybody out there in internet land. It's Robbie O'Spoon here in Dublin, Ontario. Just having a grand old time, playing a few tunes out here in the snow. I see like my new hat. Got me a new hat. It's keeps my ears warm, which is a nice thing out in this cold and snowy weather here. But I'm enjoying it, and it's spend a lot of time in the barn. It's quite warm in there, a little stinky at times, but quite warm. But anyways, I got a tune here for you. It's written by a Ontario fella. Wrote this song. I think you might be able to guess what it is. But it's a song about a place not too far from here and about the country out here. And a bit of a sad song too, though. And maybe I'll get Rob to jump in here and give me a hand. Oh, if you're ever out upon old Highway 19 or down some old gravel road and lost in Oxford County, if you should meet a girl there with hair as gold as wheat, do me a favor then and say hello for me. And if the men are in the fields with their backs turned to the sun, doing work that looks like it could never get done, tell them my heart's with them. Tell them that someday, if I ever come back, I'll be coming back to stay. The old farmhouses rise out of the ground like monuments to the sky. The distant thunder and the rolling clouds make you think of days gone by. I once knew a girl there, she stole all me time. She lived in the great big house on the Oxford County line. Last night I sat around a fire with 10 other men, and I listened as they talked about what had happened to them. But when I told my story, well, they all just turned quiet. An owl flew, a whistle blew as we listened to the night. And someone cleared his throat, reached out and touched me hand. He said, boy, I'm an old man and I've heard 1,000 yarns, but none have touched me heart like the one you just told me. If I were you, I'd head on back to Oxford County. The old farmhouses rise out of the ground like monuments to the sky. The distant thunder and the rolling clouds make you think of days gone by. I once knew a girl there, she stole all me time. She lived in a great big house on the Oxford County line. Was a time when I believed that home was where you stood, and if you couldn't be there, memories were just as good. But the cracked and faded photographs I keep inside me pack remind me time and time again I've got to go back. The old farmhouses rise out of the ground like monuments to the sky. The distant thunder and the rolling clouds make you think of days gone by. I once knew a girl there, she stole all me time. She lived in a great big house on the Oxford County line. I once knew a girl there, she stole all me time. She lived in a great big house on the Oxford County line. That was awesome, Robbie. Fun to sing that song. And I think Kathy got it again. She got it. Fred Eaglesmith. That is another Fred Eaglesmith. We do love Fred Eaglesmith here at Tuesday Live, and that's actually called Oxford County Line. One of his very early tunes. He wrote a lot of great sort of rural, sort of inspired Ontario songs. But anyways, we're getting up to the top of the hour here. Time is flying, and I'm going to turn it over to Neil Old, and I'm actually going to jump in, I think, and maybe join Neil on this tune here. So, whoop, I lost my hand there. So let's go, Neil. Kick it off. Oh, that's not Neil. There he is.
There is a town in North Ontario with dream, comfort, memory to spare. And in my mind, I still need a place to go. All my changes were there. Blue, blue windows behind the stars, and yellow moon on the rise, and big birds flying across the sky, throwing shadows on our eyes, and leave us helpless, helpless, helpless. Oh, baby, can you hear me now? The chains are locked and tied across the door. Oh, baby, sing with me somehow. Blue, blue windows behind the stars, and yellow moon on the rise, and big birds flying across the sky, throwing shadows on our eyes. Leave us helpless, helpless, helpless. Helpless, helpless, helpless. Leave us helpless, helpless, helpless. Leave us helpless, helpless, helpless.
Very nice, Neil and Lazy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, brings us to the end of Tuesday Live for another Tuesday. Isn't this been fun? Oh, and he walks off. He walks out of camera. He should get better at that sort of thing. But anyways, thank you so much, folks, for tuning in tonight. It's been a fantastic show. It's gone by super fast, which to me that always signifies it's been a fun show. Lots of folks here, lots of comments, and oh yeah, we can't forget, somebody did guess that. Neil Young and Kathy again are. And Ron, thanks Ron for the comments. We do. Neil Old, he is certainly one of the premier Neil Young tribute artists of our generation, that's for sure. But thank you so much for dropping in tonight, folks. We always have a lot of fun Tuesday Live. Don't forget to get out and vote this week. The election is on Thursday, so make sure you get out. We need everybody out there who can vote, because boy, our participation in democracy is kind of going downhill, and so I don't know. You can't really complain about anything if you don't vote. So get out there and vote. Look in your riding, see who the most appropriate candidate is for the what causes you believe in. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but hey, there's Nelson McNairn checking in. Good to see you, Nelson. Nelson had a birthday earlier this week. Happy birthday, Nelson. I heard that through the grapevine, through the Facebook grapevine, actually. But anyways, happy birthday, Nelson. And I'm gonna do one more song here. If you're around after the show, please, we do send out that email, and there's the Tuesday Live After Party. The very popular Tuesday Live After Party. We don't never get a big audience, a big group there, which is probably a good thing. Those online meetings, if you get too many people, can get a little cacophonious. But we have a lovely number, but we could always take one or two more. If you're interested in dropping in, saying hello, you don't even have to stay the whole time. We only go for about 30 or 40 minutes max, and we have a lot of fun. We talk about a lot of different things. Unfortunately, last week we were talking to Dave Hill. He was supposed to go ice fishing. It got canceled because of the weather. I think it got some of those lakes, they get so much snow on them, they kind of sink and get wet and slushy. I think Ron's pre-guessed this song, and that's good. But anyways, thank you so much for your support, whether you support the show just by being here, which is super important, and commenting and hitting the like button and hitting the share button. That helps too when you share the show with your friends. And I will try to get that Doug Ford song out to you so you can share it out there. And also all the folks who support the show financially. I know there's a number of folks who are patrons who provide us with a regular contribution to keep the lights on here in the Tuesday Live studios and pay for all our software bills. And because Facebook doesn't pay very well, and YouTube pays even less. So it's nothing of nothing is nothing. But we appreciate the support you can provide. We also have a virtual tip jar. If you just want to throw us a few ducats in at the end of the night, we welcome that as well. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you get out and vote, and just love. Vote with love. Everybody needs a place to go, and everybody needs a way to know they're just loved. Why do we hurt the ones we love? Why don't we lift them up instead of putting them down and just love? 'Cause deep inside every one of us, there's something brighter than gold waiting to shine out. We keep it covered up in a layer of clay. We've got to start washing it off someday with just love. Only be here for a very short time, to lie in the sun and sip sweet wine and just love. Here and then be gone. Instead of harsh words and singing sad songs, let's just love. 'Cause deep inside every one of us, there's something brighter than gold waiting to shine out. We keep it covered up in a layer of clay. We've got to start washing it off someday with just love.
gonna try, I'm just gonna do, and if you join with me, well then we would make two. We need more giving, less taken away. If we start right now, we'll get there someday to just love. Find it in your heart if you look deep enough. You find the only thing that we really need now, it's just love. But it's hard to just love in a world full of hate. If we get started now, it won't be too late to just love. 'Cause deep inside every one of us, there's something brighter than gold waiting to shine out. We keep it covered up in a layer of clay. We've got to start washing it off someday with just love. With just love. Just love. Just love. Just love. See you next week. Love you.